Hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekend. I don't think this is going to be a very long stream. I'm going to present the topic for today, open up the panel for a bit, and then maybe come out and do another open panel this evening. Hey, Plasma. Oh, good. I'm glad to know you're out there. I definitely appreciate you as a viewer. All right. Hang on. Get oriented. Okay, so today we're going to continue with the myth thing. First, we learned the two different types of, I don't want to say thinking, that doesn't seem quite accurate, but the two different types of mental activity, imagining and reasoning. And then we talked about kind of two different types of stories that hold those two activities together. We're going to take a little closer look today at some of those stories, their historical origins, and the forms they take in the modern world today. So I'm going to get the notebook started. I'm going to drop, and then I will come back up when it's over. Let's see. All righty, here we go.
Have you ever stopped to think about the stories we tell ourselves? I mean, the really big ones. What if the biggest fights we're having in our culture today, the ones that feel so chaotic and so new, are actually just the latest chapter in a story that's thousands of years old? That's what we're going to dig into. The invisible stories that are basically running the show.
So, what are these invisible stories? Today, we're going to unpack this really fascinating framework that helps you see the hidden architecture of our own culture. You know, the stories that hold us together, and the ones that sometimes feel like they're trying to tear everything down.
So, the source material we're looking at today argues that every single culture basically uses two fundamental kinds of stories, you could call them myths, to make sense of the world. Now, they have totally different jobs, but together they create the reality we all live in. Let's break them down.
Okay, first up is what's called the myth of concern. The easiest way to think about this one is that it's the story of us, right? It's all the narratives that give a community its identity, things like the American dream or the importance of family. The point here isn't about what's factually, scientifically true, but what is socially true for the group. It's what holds everyone together.
And then you've got its counterpart, the myth of freedom. So if the first myth was about us, this one is all about it, the external world. Its whole purpose is objective observation. This is the story of logic, reason, really what we now call science. It's driven by that pure desire to understand the world as it actually is, totally separate from what we might want it to be.
So here you can see them laid out side by side. You've got the myth of concern, which is all about creating social meaning, and then the myth of freedom, which is about discovering facts. They're almost operating on different planes of reality. But here's the kicker. A healthy society, according to this framework, absolutely needs both to function.
Okay, so where did these two huge storytelling traditions even come from? Well, in Western culture, they have really distinct roots that honestly still shape our world in some pretty deep ways today.
And this table just lays it out so clearly. Our myth of freedom, our entire scientific and academic worldview, we can trace that lineage all the way back to classical Greece with their development of logic and reason. But our main myth of concern, the story that gives us our foundational sense of morality and social meaning, that comes straight from the Judeo-Christian tradition, with the Bible at its core. Okay, but here's where it gets really, really interesting. You'd think a myth of concern, a story designed to hold society together, would be super conservative, right? All about maintaining the status quo. But the source we're drawing from argues that the Western myth of concern is, at its very core, the complete opposite. It's revolutionary.
So the argument goes like this. The early Hebrew myth wasn't about propping up some big empire. No way. It was the story of an oppressed people, and their radical belief in one God was a direct challenge to the powerful imperial myths of places like Egypt and Babylon. This was a story literally designed to overthrow the great empires of the world, not to join them.
And this sets up this incredible, powerful cycle that has basically defined Western history ever since. It goes like this. Step 1, a revolutionary story, like early Christianity, rises up and challenges the old order. Step 2, it succeeds. It grows and becomes the new establishment. But then, step 3, a brand new revolutionary story rises to challenge it. It's this never-ending pattern of overthrow and replacement.
So if we follow that pattern, fast forward to the end of the 18th century, by then, that original Judeo-Christian myth was the dominant establishment in the West. It was so powerful, in fact, that it kind of created the space for new, secular myths to show up and continue that exact same revolutionary tradition.
And this was a really pivotal moment in history. As the Christian monopoly on what it meant to be a myth of concern started to weaken, two huge political stories rose up to fill that space. Democracy and Marxism inherited that original revolutionary impulse, but man, they took it in very, very different directions.
And this distinction right here is absolutely critical. The myth of democracy is pretty unique because it actively tries to incorporate the myth of freedom within it. It makes space for science, for reason, for free inquiry. Marxism, on the other hand, is a much more direct heir to that pure revolutionary pattern. It basically argues that the myth of freedom, objective truth, must always take a back seat to the goals of the social revolution.
So, you might be thinking, okay, why does all this ancient history matter today? Well, because according to the source material, this revolutionary cycle isn't some relic of the past. It's a living tradition. The exact same dynamic is still playing out right now, shaping the cultural and political fights that define our world. So, looking at today through the lens of this framework, a lot of what we call the culture wars can be seen as just the latest turn of this giant wheel. The source we're examining posits that modern progressivism acts as a new revolutionary myth of concern, defining itself in opposition to the now established liberal democratic myth, which it sees as the thing to be overthrown.
So how can you spot one of these revolutionary myths out in the wild, whether it's religious or political? Well, the source gives us a kind of toolkit. First, they always believe in a unique historical revelation, whether that's Jesus or Karl Marx. Second, they have a canon of essential approved texts that you must follow. And third, and this is maybe the most telling part, they spend just as much energy attacking heretics inside their own group as they do attacking the official opposition.
Which, of course, leaves us with a pretty provocative question to chew on. If our entire tradition is built on revolution, what's next? What established ideas that feel totally rock solid today are just waiting for the next revolutionary myth to come along and challenge them? It's definitely something to think about.
It definitely is. Alrighty. Let's see. Absolutely agree that we need both, but maybe. Well, that's why he made the point that liberal democracy, which is why I'm a classical liberal, is one of the few myths of concern that goes out of its way to incorporate the myth of freedom into it and make room for a myth of freedom. So it's probably the most integrated of the myths between the two. In the other myths are Christianity, religious myths, some political ideologies, communism, Marxism, socialism. There's more tension between objective inquiry, the search for truth, and keeping the community together. Um, One of my criticisms of the left and the woke is they seem to be more oriented on power than truth, than reality. And they sacrifice truth to power. So they'll adopt narratives that to me aren't exactly true, meaning correspondently true to reality, but it serves their purpose for acquiring power. So if they can get enough people to buy into these stories, that increases their power base. All right, I'm going to drop the link. I'll try to go to about the half hour mark, and then if nobody comes up, I'm gonna wrap it up. And then if we do get a panel going, I'll go for an hour or two. All right, there you go, folks. Panel's open. Um, oh, and we got Charlie. Oh yeah, okay. An example of what we've been talking about came across my feed today. The Epstein files. There was an email from Elon Musk that said something about, hey, what's the best night to go to one of these wild parties or whatever. That's the fact. That's all we have is that one little phrase from the email. But in people's minds, their imagination is filling in with an Epstein style party. And they're tying Elon to them just based on that sentence. That's enough for their imaginations to enmesh Elon and whatever Epstein was up to on that island. And all I see is Elon saying, "Hey, when's a good night to go to a wild party?" So that's an example of how we have small fact, big imagination. Hey, track. Oh, cool. Well, come on up. And let me. How is your weekend so far? Hopefully, you're a little warmer today. Okay, let me. Uh-oh. Ah. Oh no. Oh oh, no. I'm panicking. I can't find the bongo. Welcome. More applause. Oh my god, I'm so lost and disoriented without my bongos. How are
Oh,
you?
geez, I thought somebody just you let me up.
Oh, but I'm so used to. I'll need a I'll just create AI bongos and upload them. No big deal. What's up? How's your weekend?
It's good so far. I got a snow day, so I'm not working today.
I was about to say, I guess you're not at work. What is it over there?
Oh, it's I guess it started early in the morning. We had some bigger flakes, but I think it's turning to ice rain again.
Not bigger than here. I mean, this chat room. No, I'm just kidding. So it's how much inches is it?
Oh, I haven't even really stepped outside yet. But we're in the teens as far as the temperature.
Are you in your garage?
Oh yeah.
How do you stay warm? Do you have a heater? How do you stay warm in there?
I, I can't help it. I'm just so hot, you know what I'm saying?
Lucky you.
No, but I didn't catch much from the beginning. I was only listening for about that last minute. But what you were talking about, truth to power, or um, something that I was thinking about recently, was like recruiting tools, um, to make make jobs look, like selling a job to a potential applicant, right? Making it look attractive um, and what do you call it? Like you want to work here because you want to live this type of life, right? But at the end of the day, it's work, and you have to learn skills, and you have to perform, and you will be held to standards. Um, and it's not until you perform and meet those standards that you really get what they were selling you on, right?
Like they have a lot. That's just sales in general. Like they have the actual job and how it works, and then they have all the stuff that they use to try to appeal to your imagination to make you think it's going to be the best job, the best life, the best coworkers. We're a family. We support all that stuff. But
Right.
what's actually true about the job is just what's on paper, like whatever employment contract you sign, whatever policy manual they give you. And the rest is
And
like the story that's wrapped around that you tell yourself about the job, that I'm sure that when they're recruiting, they influence you to tell in a positive way.
right. And the reason why it made me think about this was what I'm seeing a lot with military based, YouTubers and influencers and stuff like that. Uh, alongside, like parallel to my own experience, is you know, hey, the pay is like this, and you know, it's an honorable, respectable profession. You almost instantly become a hero and stuff like that. Um, but you do have to learn the skills and perform and meet the standards. Um, you will go uh, many days, sometimes weeks, without what we would consider real food.
Oh,
Um,
the MREs. Do you
what's that?
survive on those, or do y'all ever get real food as like, on the same is it just like all of your meals are MREs, or is real food interspersed with that?
It really depends on the situation that you're in. Um, because I was a cook, um, and I was never away from the food. Um, so you know, I was at the hub of food, so that's not something that I really had to worry about. But even just in training, like you go out for a week, you're not going to get a proper shower, a proper
No
wash.
way. Don't tell me oh, no, I can't go in the military then. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all gonna have to do without me. What you how did you survive that?
Um,
And how did you
I
survive
don't
the
know.
other
It's
people around you?
it's like imagine like you see a homeless person, right? And
I have to
you
say,
got to
y'all sound like
imagine that,
homeless people.
yeah, they haven't. Hold on one second.
Alright. Ooh, I don't like stinky humans. I'm sorry. Even my own self. I can't go a day if I go a day without a shower, I feel so gross. I feel like I have slime and funk just oozing off of me. Mm.
Yeah, but like I was saying, the the going through the educational process, you learn, and then you're thrown into the test, and you have to have something inside of you that was pre-chosen. I already know that I'm gonna carry the wet wipes with me. Um, you know, the camelback on my back is for drinking, and my canteens of water, you know, may be more utility water. You know, you never know when you're gonna have to use water for something other than just drinking, right? Um,
Oh, yeah. Like,
and it's tough. It's very uncomfortable. Being okay with being uncomfortable is I would say that it's a skill, but it's also like a learned mindset. Some people
it's a
are
skill, I don't
uncomfortable in social, like mass social situations, like out in public.
yeah.
But if you can bring it to yourself to deal with being uncomfortable with, because you're the individual that's uncomfortable. It doesn't mean that everybody else is uncomfortable with you being there. But if you can overcome that, it doesn't change you from being uncomfortable.
Those are my bongos until I get new bongos.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Oh, pretty good for
How
Saturday.
are
So
you
it's
doing
cold
on
over there.
Trackball? Oh yeah, it's
Good, very
awful here. I just wanted to come up. I love you, Jeff, but also I really respect Untrackable, and I don't think he hears that enough. So I just wanted to say that I really love you on panels. I don't, I don't know if you've ever heard that, but I watch a lot, right? So I see you up here and stuff, and I love to hear you in your life and see you. I just wanted to tell you that.
Well, I very much appreciate it.
Yeah, I really don't think like this has been a long time, of me. I haven't really caught you up here, but I've seen you and I really enjoy you and I like your presence. And so you served, right? Like you served.
Oh yeah, it was 2003 to 2009.
Thank you for your service. Like what'd you serve in? I'm sorry, I don't know.
I was United States Army 92 Gulf Food Service Specialist.
Well, I just want to tell you, thank you for your service. I don't know if you've heard that, but I really appreciate you. And when you come up on Jeff's, I watch. So I like you being here and salute Jeff. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to leave you out of that, but I don't think anybody's ever came up and said that they respected Untrackable. I do.
Well, thank
We
you for
love
saying
track
it.
here.
Honestly, I feel respected when people just genuinely interact and participate. Um, the good, the bad, the ugly. Um, as long as it's genuine, I guess. And so thank you for saying that, though. It does touch my heart.
You're
Touches my
welcome.
heart too.
I've thought that for a long time too, and I've never got to tell you that. But I honestly think that you add to panels. And again, thank you for your service. Thank you. I don't think you get
Well, thank you.
appreciation enough. And I just wanted to make sure you knew that you were heard. And, I respect you.
All right, that's awesome.
And hey, Gen X Jeff. I
Only
wasn't.
EA.
I wasn't trying to cut you. I just, I don't feel like he gets enough respect, honestly.
He doesn't when he's talking about genuine interaction, I don't think he gets enough of it on here as he could because I don't make the space for it. So
Well, no, that's not your
yes,
job.
I feel like he deserves way more respect than I even give him on here, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Yeah, I just meant to say that I kind of watch sometimes to hear Untrackable, only him. I just want to hear his input on stuff. And I hope that he knows that, That's
I
all.
like track.
Well,
I like our conversations, but when they get started and other people come up, they get trampled by everybody
Oh,
else.
God. Are you saying that I did that?
Well, no, not.
I was kidding. Yeah, I just wanted to come up and say that. I love you both too. And Jeff, you might know, you might not. I respect you a lot.
Well, I appreciate it. Oh, hang on, I got to get my my human bongos.
Hello.
Hey,
Nice.
No way.
another person that I respect.
I just wanted to come up.
Tiffany.
Hi, I just have a minute. I just wanted to come up here. I don't know if anybody's ever done this before, but I just really respect you, EA Not Sports, and I just wanted to make sure that you heard that.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Oh
It's
my
my
God.
pleasure.
Oh
My
my
pleasure.
God.
Happy New Year and everything.
Oh my God. I'm never even here. So the fact that, oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I've been
Oh my
waiting
God.
backstage for like 4 months to tell you that I respect
Well,
you.
now I'm fucking dying. I'm dead. I'm
No,
deceased at
I'm
this.
I'm here to resuscitate you, bring you
No,
back
no,
to
no,
life,
no,
and
no,
tell
no,
you that I
no.
respect you.
No, no, no. Shit, don't do this to me.
Okay,
Please.
well, I'm gonna now let you go back to
I'm
RIP mode and then bury you in the forest.
Oh my God. Yes, please do. But make sure, listen, bitch, I collect gnomes, right? So make sure you have a nice gnome. Nice
Okay.
gnomie. I call them my gnomies. I collect
It
gnomes. Yeah.
was
So,
nice to know you. Bada bing, bada boom.
yes. There you go. That's my favorite. There it is.
All
Nice
right,
to
well, I
know
gotta
you.
go now that my respect has been exposed. I'm starting to lose my powers.
I love you.
Okay, bye.
Have a good one, Shift. Thank respect to you as well.
No, now I have to go plot my grave because it's obviously been set up.
Maybe this will start a trend and people will start going on
It should.
panels to give
You know
respect.
what? What I think is this should start a trend of people being nicer, right? Like people going up on panel just to say, like, hey, I respect what you're saying.
You
I
know,
mean,
that
Oh,
that
that's,
actually
yeah,
touches.
you both are looking like that's very far shot. But
No,
maybe that was
it's
my
no, I'm just.
goal.
Do you have any tips on how to be nicer? Because I struggle with that too. I don't feel like I'm that nice of a person.
I'm a very nice person and I can say that, but I mean it. But as far as like, I accept everyone for what they give me, right? Like, if you, if I meet you and you're a mess, then you're a mess and that's fine. And like, as your, if I'm your friend, we'll work on that, right? Like, you can tell me anything, I'm that friend. You can tell me absolutely anything, I'll never use it against you. I'll never tell people what you tell me because that's fucking stupid. And I hate that. Like, that's not a friend to me. I feel like you should be able to pour yourself into people and they don't share it. Like, I don't know.
I guess that's where discernment comes in, like finding the people you can do that with. I
I feel
rarely
like
tell anybody anything that I don't care if it gets out.
that's something that's helped because I've been doing panels for I guess about 3 years. Um, and in the beginning, um, it was like a free for all. Like I was able to get triggered just like everybody else and participate in the screaming matches and calling people names
I
and
I
just
would have never
total
guessed.
shit show. But it lost its that part of it lost its luster. And so you know bring something to the table. I'm let's talk about what we witnessed. Let's talk about facts. Let's talk about you know what we think about what we witnessed and where we want to go. But it has to come from inside genuinely, because just putting people down, talking about other people, it's like, well, we're right here right now and we have an opportunity um, to bounce things off and to feed off each other's energy. And so that one catalyst of disruption that won't allow the flow, you know, um, it destroys a lot of conversations and a lot of discourse.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of that too.
No, it really does. And it also, like, the majority of what I've seen here is like, we're dehumanizing. You know, like in a weird sense, we're dehumanizing people because the reactions and the things that people do here, they would never do in real life. They would never fucking do. Like, I'm sorry for my language. The things that are
Notice that
said,
too. Like My
the
friends in real
threats.
life do not act like this.
Right. No, no, none of them ever will. Yeah, that's like the big thing is nobody ever will. And so like what's insane to me is when I hear these like if you see me in real life threats on YouTube and
Right.
I'm just like why would you even waste your energy on that? Like that's not going to happen and the things that these people say are insane.
It's
Right.
kind of the id unleashed on here.
Yeah, I just recently watched a video about I guess he's a military veteran that's done the influencing, and he had 2 million subscribers. And in his comment section, somebody said that he looked like a gay character from a TV show.
Ooh,
And
who is it?
this guy, he doxed this guy, his telephone number, his address, where he works, all this stuff because of a comment saying that he looked like somebody from a TV show
The military
that
guy
played a gay.
doxed? The channel owner doxed him?
Yes, doxed a commenter, a simple commenter. And again, people say crazy things. The comment section is, it's the origination um, of shitting out of your mouth kind of thing.
Absolutely. And that's why, like, people will say, you're absolutely right there. It just is like that's the real nasty side of
And
it.
somebody got him back, and they sent him, I guess, in like a DM or something like that. They sent him all of his own information, and then he went on a backtracking apology trail of about a flaw in his character, and the fake crying on a Instagram story or something like that. He never apologized directly to the people that he violated, and he's actually potentially facing felony charges for his public doxing.
How can we get all these other doxers to face the same charges?
I guess
I didn't
it
even know
comes
that.
down to
Well,
That's a
the thing
felony.
is, they have to file
fraud.
charge. I've seen a couple. I have actually seen a couple that have like went to court, had to face charges, but it was like based on the content that they were sharing, right? So like
Right.
the majority of like the doxing stuff that I've seen that has actually went to court was when sexual terms were involved. So like photos that were sexual, whatever. I mean, all of this is
Not
insane to
just name
me.
and address.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the only ones that I've seen that have actually went to court was when like provocative photos were shared between the people. But in my sense of like, why are you all putting so much into these people on YouTube? Now, mind you all, I've been around YouTube actually myself since 2020, right? I was one of the 2020 girls that were in this little sector of YouTube that like we all kind of came out of. But still, why in the world are people putting so much out here?
And that leads back to the truth to power argument, is that the expanse of somebody's reach. And if somebody says something horrible about somebody, and that somebody doesn't have the reach to defend themselves, it's an unequal balance, and it can
Absolutely. It happens all the time too.
it's kind of like one person standing up to fight the government, like, oh, I'm not going to pay my taxes, and there's nothing the government can do about it because I'm standing up for myself. It's like, well, the government will come snatch you up and nobody's going to help you out, right?
Also, nobody here will ever notice it. And that's my big thing is like people get glimpses of other people's lives on the internet and they like think that's very solid. Like they just know that person, but it's so far from it.
People are very sensitive on here too. Like people will dox and strike and call jobs, everything over the slightest little comment.
Oh my God. The calling jobs stuff is so, to me personally, that's real next level and that's real fucking gross. You want to take someone's like home and their financial stability away because of what they told you on YouTube because they said that you
Want to hurt?
fucking
They want to
suck.
hurt. If you trigger their sensitivity, they want to strike back and they want to hurt you and they want to do it in a bigger way than you did and show you that you can't do that to them anymore.
Yeah,
And that's very like
that's fucking gross.
junior high school playground
That's
mentality.
fucking gross. But also but like you said, the junior high school mentality stuff. So is like you're fat, you're ugly, you're real fat, you're real ugly. Those
I'm
things
gonna
are
go slash your
so.
tires. I'll teach you.
But
And
just
it's so much of it starts from you know, intellectual disagreements. It starts off of, you know, hey, let's talk about current events. This is going on in the world. I think like this. I think like that. Well,
yeah,
I think
you're so
Mama's
fat
ugly.
and you're so ugly. You're so
And-
fat. You're so fucking fat.
Yeah.
That's
Speaking of like fat and ugly, did anybody come up here saying how much they respected me? Did I miss it?
No,
I
you
was
were
like,
the last. No one came
I
up after
love
you.
shift.
oh,
So do I
nobody.
But
need
I told you when you came up, I did.
do I need to do it
I
though?
don't say
Because
that
she's
to just anybody.
No, it's
so
okay. No, I don't want any. I just also just wanted to come up here and just say I really respect Bex, and all of her factoring and stuff like that. I don't know if anyone's ever said that before.
shut
So I
up. Are you making fun of me? Wait, I'm real
no,
lost. Are you making
No,
fun of
we're
me?
we're carrying the
no,
trend. You started a trend. We're honoring you.
no.
Okay.
Since you, yeah. Also, I just really want to hear you make a dinosaur sound real quick. Can you do that for me, sweetheart?
Yeah, we're collecting
Aw.
pterodactyl
Yeah,
impressions.
can
Oh,
you
are
make
you
a
collecting? No, but I really love you, Shiv. So please don't be making fun of
I'm
me.
not making fun of you. And look, ah!
Did I do that? Oh my God, did I do that?
That's my pterodactyl sound for you. Whenever you
Did
feel
I do
comfortable.
that?
That's my mating noise for you. My prehistoric, my
No, I'm
prehistoric
sorry.
sound for you. Yeah,
I
no,
don't know if I did that, but I didn't mean to.
you activated something within me that made me want to make that
Very
sound.
primal,
Is it bad?
prehistoric.
Oh my God, I feel really bad. And I feel like I should just leave.
Why? Am I wait? I feel like I'm gonna leave. I
No,
just,
I love
just
you. Shift, I
respect
love
But you had
you.
left.
I'm sorry if I make you uncomfortable with my prehistoric sounds.
Are
Jeff
they
gets it.
my prehistoric sounds though? That's my thing. Like, do you think I make prehistoric sounds?
No, it's like you
No,
inspire
that's the
me.
problem.
No, you inspire me to make them. I connect with the pterodactyls that came before me. You know what I mean? That
I
fought for our
love, well,
rights.
just to say, even if you're making fun of me, I
I'm
really
not
love
making fun of
Shiv.
you. I
No, wait,
respect
hold
you.
on. Wait, hold on. I really love Shiv and I watch your channel and I adore you. And if you're making fun of
You
me,
done
that's
science yet?
fine.
I'm
I'm
not.
a
I respect
stupid
you
ass
and your
bitch. I get
gnome.
it. Okay, I'm just saying.
I respect the hell out of a prehistoric gnome.
Oh my God, now you're calling me a dinosaur. So I don't
No,
feel like
No,
you're
I just
actually.
said I respect the prehistoric. Rewind, listen to this later in the bathtub, all right? And really like let it like sink in what I'm saying to you. Okay? I'm flirting, it's not hitting, and
Okay.
that's where
That's
we're at.
all, that's all I needed to know.
Yeah, I'm prehistoric flirting with you. It's
I'm
traveling.
not prehistoric though. I'm not prehistoric. So
Okay, here's the thing. We're like we don't know that last stream we
All of us, we all
activated
have
the
dinosaur DNA in us.
yeah, we just yeah. Like, did you see Jurassic Park? Like, we're basically
Yes, I absolutely have.
okay. So basically, we're all like that little like mosquito in the amber, and we're just tapping into it. Okay, that's what's happening here. Okay.
Do
Oh, I
you
like
remember?
these guys.
Do you remember this line from Jurassic Park? That they were so concerned of whether they could, they never stopped to think
They
whether they should.
Yeah, I'm basically here to represent the chaos theory sector. That's what's up. You know what I mean? Some people are from the A1 or whatever, 1A. Some people from
Oh my God, what are these even?
Some people are from the First Amendment. I am from the fucking prehistoric
Okay, then I'm going to accept it. I'm going to accept it. I want to be a prehistoric creature to all of the madness because I'm not involved, right? So, like, yes, now that you've explained it, I would rather
All
be
starts with the pterodactyl impersonation.
but I'd rather be a prehistoric creature to the madness, right? The drama and shit. I'm like real backstage. I've seen it all, but I'm not there. So yeah, I'll take it.
Maybe, like, after this, go on Urban Dictionary and look up this screeching pterodactyl. And if that ever inspires you one day, like, hit me up. All right. All right. I gotta go respect people on other panels. Okay. Bye.
Why? Thanks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna dox her, but I'm gonna send her a care package to her PO box. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I really love Shift. Like overall, I don't know if that was like a shot. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if that was a shot at me, but
we made a connection.
Regardless, I really respect her. I've seen her for literal years throughout communities, and I like her a lot. So
did she start from the same community you did in 2020?
No. I came from like Squishy, Weenie. There's a whole group of women.
I don't know this Squishy, but I think she came up one time, but
she did. She was on here the day that you threw me off.
Panel person.
Because Mike's mom was screaming in the background, and I came up and said, "Hey, his mom's screaming in the background. Why are we letting this happen?" And I got kicked off, but I understand.
What are y'all supposed to do about it? If somebody's screaming in like Untrackable's garage, there's nothing I could do.
Yeah, but you could throw them off because you hear someone pleading for their help. That's my thing. That was my thing. So that specific day, right? Mike was on your live. There was a bunch of people up. Squishy came up and whatnot, but his mom continually screamed in the background, and nothing happened. So I came up and
was she screaming words or just dinosaur noises?
Mike. She was screaming his name. Like that's what she was screaming, his name.
Oh, well, that could be anything. Maybe she wanted him to go. Maybe she wanted to fuss at him.
I don't know what she wanted, but the fact that it was like on your panel over and over, we heard her scream his name in the background.
Was my panel?
Yes. 3 or 4 times.
How did I miss it? I don't remember a lady screaming.
It was a panel. Go back to your panels when Squishy came up because she was up there. And what happened was you accidentally dropped her, not me. When I was
I remember
that. Yes.
Yeah.
I was saying his mom is screaming. No, we don't at all. But I was saying his mom is screaming.
I thought she was you because your voice is
you did. You dropped her instead of me.
It was a totally different person and I dropped her.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do remember that one. But I don't remember the mom screaming. I don't know how I missed that.
That was like she was in the background and he kept dropping, coming back up, dropping, coming back up. So I came up and I was like, why is his mother screaming for him and why is nothing happening? And I know you can't do anything. I realize that. Like, what are you going to do, you know? But I don't know.
I didn't even, did I notice that? I don't remember the screaming. I'll have to go back and check the episode. I can even run it through the AI and get it.
You threw me off because I said, hey, his mother is screaming in the background. You immediately dropped me because Mike was flipping the fuck out. Sorry for my language, but he was. And Squishy actually was still up there. And because, yeah.
Yeah, I have vague memories of that night, but I don't remember a lot of those parts. I'll have to go back and watch it.
I don't know. I think everyone has absolutely like erased empathy. Just basic, like the basic empathy of people, right? Like you see an elderly person struggling. What do? You help them, right? Like, I don't
Maybe
know.
sometimes, depending on what I'm doing. But
Oh, shut
I
the
didn't
fuck
see an elderly person struggle, so I hope that empathy comment's not
Oh, no,
directed at me
no.
because you better get dropped again.
Oh, I wasn't even talking
If
about
you're coming up
that.
here to start drama, and because Track and I want to have
Oh, me?
this kind of
No, I'm not. I can leave
conversation
though.
where so this is like another version of drama leaking onto my channel instead of dialogues and conversations. It's like dredging up past drama, and I want to prioritize the conversation Track and I were having about truth to power and the army and work and all that stuff. Because I can go back and watch the stream and resolve the
I don't need
whatever this is
anything of that. No. I was just mentioning that was the last time I'd been here.
Yeah, I don't even remember how long ago that was. All of this blurs together. I don't really. There's not like a
Don't
timeline to
get,
the
yeah,
streams. They
and
all happened like just in this big blob of time.
right. And don't get like worked up about that.
I'm worked up. You seem worked up.
I'm not. I'm totally
I mean, I
calm.
barely remembered it, so I couldn't possibly
That's,
be worked up.
yeah, I'm not either.
I like that word empathy because the more people I've met throughout my life, like um, whether it was through the military and being thrust into, thousands upon thousands of people, and everybody having a different story, and learning there when I was young, and all the way to joining, becoming part of this panelverse and meeting new people from different places and different walks of life every single day. Um, you know, I can't uh, relate to so many, but there's common ground that is found. However, empathy does not excuse, uh, certain behaviors. Like excuses for behavior are still, they're just excuses. Like I can have empathy for, you know, somebody being a certain way for in a moment or for their point of view, but it doesn't it does empathy is not an excuse. It.
No, I absolutely agree with that. It's not. It's not an excuse for people's behavior. And also, Jeff, like, I really hope you're not on like a nasty crutch with me or something. I was just saying, like, the last time, hey, look at you. You're getting
Well, look at
offended.
you. What are you up here to do? Like,
I just
what's
wanted
all
to
this
talk to
respect?
you.
You
I
started
like
so
you.
well, and then I feel like I'm being put through some kind of struggle session for some past episode that has nothing to do
No,
with the
you're not.
conversation Track and I were having, and you came up complimenting Track on how
Yeah, I like
like
track. I really wasn't trying to be
beneficial he is for
negative.
panels and how much you enjoy the conversation, and you come and all of a sudden the conversation stops and you replace it with this drama stuff. So you're the one doing the very
I'm
thing that you came
sorry.
up to support Track against. I'm getting very confused and a little irritated.
I'll leave. I wasn't trying to do
This feels
that.
like drama. It doesn't feel like a
Oh no,
conversation. It
not at
feels like
all.
drama, and some of it feels directed at me, and I have no idea the fuck why or anything. I'll
Well,
go back and watch the video, but until I do, let's move on to another topic. I'm not
um,
interested in this. I didn't even remember it happened until you came up, and then you're, like,
I wasn't.
resurrecting a whole bunch of
Oh, I
drama about
wasn't
Mike
trying
and
to
his mom is That's not what we were talking about.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. You have a good day, okay?
You too, EA.
I really wasn't trying to make it like negative. So I'm
I don't
sorry if
know. She
I
might be. Are
did.
you drunk?
What?
Were you drunk?
No, I'm not. But I'm sorry if you thought it was like negative.
It's very different from how it started. The conversational dynamic right now is very different than how it started when Track and I were talking. And then you came up, and the respect thing was great. It was amazing. I didn't expect any of that to happen today. It was beautiful to see. But
I'm
we're in
sorry.
some other territory right now.
I just mentioned like what had previously happened here. That's
You
all.
didn't
But
just mention you hijacked the entire
I
conversation for
didn't
10
mean
or 15
to, so
minutes, but
I'm
that's not
going
a
to
mention.
leave.
Okay, bye, EA, bye. I'm not tolerating this anymore. I'm so tired of the disrespect. She's not here for what I'm doing on my channel. She's here to air her gossip. You got her vibe. Well, you have to explain it to me later. I'm so tired of she just completely shit on what Track and I were talking about. She didn't integrate herself into an existing conversation. She came and hijacked it with a lower tier drama vibe. And now look at where I am. Let me reset. I'm gonna step away for 10 seconds. I'm gonna reset and then Track.
Hey,
She was accusing me a bunch of shit. She was bringing up, oh, that's not silly to me. If you think that's silly, we have completely different sensibilities of what silly is. That was that drama mess that I don't want on this channel that people keep bringing here, that I keep asking people to respect my space and they don't.
hey, let's take a music break.
Yeah, let me do that.
I'll come right back.
All right, just like a few seconds. Here, this will work. There's no way to do that. That's what we were talking about. And you weren't just trying to say, you did a whole bunch of other shit in the process as well. All right, I'll be back. All right. Well, the problem's solved because you're not coming up again, so we can move on. I'm gonna talk to Track a little bit more, and then I'll probably wrap up. And Vex and I are gonna go hang out in the Discord. I don't think it was Shift. I'm gonna run into the AI too. I'm pretty sure that I was perceiving what I perceived, but this is a great example of the story, like facts and imagination. So I'm willing to start out what I'm imagining here from what's actually happening as well. Hey, Nav. Let's check it on the news, by the way. I haven't looked. It looks like more of the same. I don't see any headlines that are really standing out to me that are different from last time I looked. And I need to get my bongos back. Does anyone else with StreamYard, did you lose your bongos? They're just gone. They're there's some other sounds gone too, I just realized. StreamYard took away some of the sound files. Well, I'm gonna go get a refill and wait for while we wait for Charlie. Oh, cool. Oh, I just you. Hang on. Wow. Hang on. Wow. That's a lot. How many inches do you think that is? I love the glove. That was a good shot. That's a cool.
Yeah,
That's a
right now
very
we're
like
looking at
picturesque neighborhood in the winter. Look at. Oh my God! How do
right
you
up
get all
here.
that snow off your car? You
Out
don't
of the
probably.
snow. Out of the snow.
It's it's still falling too.
Yeah, we're looking
Did you
at
catch? Do you catch a snowflake on your tongue?
I mean, they're out there. It's just so cold. Um, we're
I
looking
love that
at
little neighborhood.
we probably already gotten 4 inches today, and
Lucky
it's
you.
coming down.
Well, thank you for that. Um, so what's up? I'll go for about half an hour, another half hour, and then I'm gonna go start my weekend. Did we, did you say everything you want to say about the military and like recruitment and jobs and the stuff we were talking about? Oh, he's probably going back in the garage. Yeah, it looked like a little Charles Dickens neighborhood. It was very quaint.
Yeah, it's the suburbs. You know, got a school nearby. What do they call them? I'm not sure if you've heard the term. They call them like micro cities. So like
Michael,
within a city, cities can be pretty expansive, but every little nook of a city, you got your own, that's why you have you know, so many McDonald's and places like that, and a grocery store seems like on every corner. So that
is that
way, not everybody has to go to the same place. So,
is that the same as a neighbor? Is it different from a neighborhood?
well, like the neighborhood is where, like pockets of where people live, and then you have the supporting cast. So, not far out of each neighborhood is going to be your grocery stores, your gas stations. Um, because so many people may live in a neighborhood, and the size of the neighborhood will dictate um, the supporting cast. So,
Yeah.
for instance, I have a grocery store that is 1 mile away. It's right around the corner. I walk there all the time. Uh, right next to the grocery store is a gas station. Right next to the gas station is a Wendy's. Um, I don't have to go far for much. However, you know, 5 miles away, 5 miles really isn't that far, especially with a car. But there's a whole nother section that has everything that I have here. It's just 5 miles down the road.
Is it like a downtown area?
No, no.
Seattle has something.
The,
I forgot what they call them. They had something like that where they would try to carve out these neighborhoods and then have like a little section of businesses that would serve that part of Seattle and that neighborhood. And they, God, what was it called? Maybe it wasn't Micro City. It was something similar. Oh God, maybe it'll come to me. And they were rolling out new ones each year. Like they would find another part of Seattle. This is going to be the new whatever that name was, and then they would start developing it.
yeah, it's just interesting to where, and um bigger cities, they tend to grow up. It's where places like here, it grows out.
They'll have the
So,
room to spread out.
yeah, rather than have, like New York City. If you live in New York City, in the city, like I guess Manhattan or whatever, you don't have a house. You may purchase property, I guess, in the same
Your
financial
condo.
system. Like, you purchase it, but you are purchasing like a level of a building
Yeah.
that goes up. Whereas here, it's like, okay, this person sold their farm, or this golf course closed down, and then they turn it into, hundreds upon hundreds of individual houses. And then outside of those houses, people, the gas stations will support those hundreds of people, and you know so on and so forth. So like I have a I have a gas station, like I said, right like a mile away. My favorite gas station is more like 3 miles away. That's where I go. The prices are better, the selection better, everything's better, the service is better, everything is there. But that same brand of gas station is even closer, it's just not on my usual route. So it's like nothing's really far away from anybody, but it depends on, but your neighborhood does have these specific things around it. They may be different brands, but you have all the support you need. Like the gas stations, the food, the grocery stores, almost every, like I have 3, maybe even 4 fire departments within a 5-mile radius.
Are there many fires?
There's that much need for emergency services, I'll say that. A lot
Oh
of
yeah,
car
because they do
crashes.
all the probably the 911 calls too.
Yeah. And right outside my neighborhood, we have we got like 3 or 4 assisted living nursing home type things. And every morning I'm leaving for work, almost every morning there's a fire truck or an ambulance or something outside of one of them. But but maybe that works with that power to truth as well, saying like, you have to have everything so close. And that shapes, profitability amongst businesses. I guess I don't know where I was really going with that, but if the thing closest to you is bought up by this company, what's going to shape your spending habits? Is it going to be the convenience of their closeness, or are you willing to go the extra mile for the brand that you want?
It's probably going to be the convenience of their closeness,
Yeah.
unless whatever it is I want is just really, really something I have to have. Plus, now with delivery, I could even get that.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, like just ordering a pizza, like the traditional way to have a pizza delivered.
What are they doing now?
We have
The way did
we
the
have
go ahead.
well, I was going to say we have Papa John's right there in that area of everything that's close. But if you want Domino's in my area, you have to go get it because we're outside of the closest Domino's delivery span. So what do we eat? We eat
Oh,
Papa
so
John.
they won't deliver to you? You have to go pick it up,
Right.
and they send it on a drone.
No, Papa John's,
That's really
they've
taxing
always
their
delivered, but at
pterodactyl.
the same time, at the closeness of it, we just tend to pick it up. Like we'll order it and go get it.
Oh, my heart is pounding to find out who's behind the door.
Hello.
Hey, welcome,
Good evening, humans. Fellow humans.
Humans.
fellow humans. Hell yeah.
Hey, Sean, what is your channel name? I can never find it. It has some weird number.
I don't have anything on it, so I don't have any picture. WASF. We are so fucked. That's the acronym. Just click on my name. I might find it or something.
Can you type some in the chat so it'll give it to me?
Okay.
Well, what's up? Welcome.
So what are you talking about, guys? Just here for the
Um,
chats.
we're talking about neighborhoods, and actually, we were talking about pizzas. Like, if you want a Domino's pizza and they don't deliver to your neighborhood, you have to drive and go pick it up. If Papa John's is closer, then you might just order a Papa John's because it's easier and they can deliver it. So even though your preference is Domino's, because of the convenience of Papa John's, that may influence your pizza habits.
Yeah, man. People want
Do y'all have
stuff.
Domino's
We
over
get
there,
stuff.
or like any of those American brands?
Yeah. I mean, we might as well just join you guys because we're like half owned by America anyway. So
Oh,
America
really?
just get rid of just stop being so pussy and just take over the world. Like we might as well
Y'all
just
could be the
be
next
the
Greenland.
whole world should be the whole world should become America. It'll be great. Make the world great again.
Well, we appreciate the support. Yeah, we're I think so too. I happen to agree. Although I've
I
never been
mean, it
to
would
your
be cool
country.
if the whole world was like federalized like America, like the UN. It would be like
Think
just like the
so, like
UN, but
a global government?
yeah, but obviously you don't want it to be like super fascist you need it to be
I
liberal,
don't want it to be any kind of
democratic.
fact.
Actually, no,
Oh.
democracy is overrated, guys. I'm
I'd have
learning
to
now that
disagree. What do you not like about it, or what do you think is overrated about it?
well,
Because we were
we
talking about
seem
this
to be
earlier at the top
voting a
of the
lot.
hour. You're part of the new revolutionary myth that's forming against democracy, that sees democracy as the like authoritarian, totalitarian, closed,
No, we should
dogmatic
just
myth.
have an AI government, and we just tell what the AI. Well, actually, no, that's not possible. Sorry,
I don't know though.
a
Have you
lottery.
seen my
We should have
interactions
a
with
lottery.
Charlie? And I'm not
Yeah,
ready
yeah.
to
Sorry,
turn the reins of
I
power
heard
over
that.
him yet. Not to mention that I've caught them hallucinating a lot.
I watched
Like, a lot of
Yeah,
the
there's
information they give me is right, has a lot of errors and misinformation, and I have to run it through other AIs and have them correct it.
yeah, but I heard there's
if
another way
you
of running things, a lottery, where like people are given a chance to become the president. So anybody can become president. So a bum can become president. It's like a lottery system. So that might be
Why?
fun.
You wanna live in that kind of government?
Well, it might work. You never
You think
know.
that's better than democracy?
We
Just
could try.
random people in power?
I mean,
How
a
much time
lottery.
have you spent on YouTube?
I think the Greeks in Athens they had that system of a lottery kind of thing, and like
Well,
anybody could become their leader.
they had not everybody got to participate, but the people that did, the adult male citizens, they had different they would fill the different roles with random people. So, like, you might be a senator. One day you might get called up to be senator. You might get called up to be like dog catcher. So whatever the roles were needed to keep society running, they filled them from the pool of available eligible citizens, which were the adult male citizens. But I don't know if that would work
Yeah,
today. I want a system that funnels the most competent people into the positions that we need them in. So I don't know if
yeah. But
randomness
you think Trump is
would be the
competent?
best
I
way.
mean, obviously he's not competent, and he'll be voted out soon. Hopefully, that's why we have our system. Yeah, yeah. You're right. So I'm saying democracy is probably better, but I don't know. We need a bit of variety in life. We can, maybe one country can try it and see what happens.
They probably do have countries. Or do they have a? I don't know if they have one or not.
I've never really seen myself as a globalist, but I do believe in consolidation and efficiency. And you know, it, independence, if you break it all down, um, you're kind of banking on yourself. But if everybody's banking on themselves, then nobody does any teamwork. But if you consolidate and relent to others, then if you yield a bit of your personality, you can build a team, and teamwork makes the dream work.
That's one thing I struggle with on here. Like, do you have to yield to be part of a community or team, or can you be part of a community that lets you be your full entire self at the same time? Because that's what I was trying to build here. My first channel, that was our exact project. We were trying to build a community of autonomous, self-determining adults that didn't want to be ruled over. We were all equals, but we wanted to be in a community together. But
Oh
we
yeah,
didn't
that's
want to
called
have
like
to
anarchy.
give up a little
What's
bit of
called
our personality to do it.
anarchism or something? Anarcho-capitalism or anarcho-communism, anarcho-syndicalism or something. All these ideas out there.
Yeah, well, just take the handshake, for example. If one person extends their hand and the other person doesn't, there's no handshake.
Right.
That's right. Simple as. Life is
That's a good
simple.
point.
Keep it
And
simple,
that
baby.
handshake can stand in for so many things.
I mean, if everybody was like super individualist, like predators all by ourselves, obviously we wouldn't be as powerful. But I mean, hypothetically, if everybody was like super individualistic, not caring about others, obviously there'd be less humans, but there probably will still be humans.
Why would there be less humans? Why would individualism reduce the number of humans?
Well, if we didn't cooperate as much and we were all like by ourselves and we just like lived like, tigers, like the
Oh, like
lifestyle of a
lone
tiger.
wolf.
Yeah. Obviously we would just have less, but humans are pussios, so we're not alphas, we're all betas.
Well, I mean,
Alpha.
look at every zombie story ever told. That is okay, the infected, right? And those who are not infected do their best to survive. And you start with what you have, and maybe you pick up a person along the way. And then somebody's got a good idea, and that idea gets shot down, and that person gets outcast. And they survive based off of their idea, but then they also have to pick up people or be accepted by another group, the consolidation process. But then the factions start to fight each other over resources rather than fighting against the actual problem, which is the zombies, and fighting against being infected. Everybody wants to rule the world, right?
I don't. I do not want that responsibility at all. I have a hard enough time just running a channel.
But if you were a dictator of the world, Jeff, what would you do?
Y'all would be having the best time. Y'all would love it. It would be so much fun. Y'all pretty much get to do whatever you want as long as you're not causing trouble. It'd
But
be
another
like
man's
party
fun
time.
is another man's trouble.
But like you'd get to do whatever you want. So whatever you think is fun, you would get to do unless it involves like hurting other people or destroying society in some way. Like I wouldn't interfere with anything you were doing as long as it wasn't interfering with what other people are trying to do or what I'm trying to do.
But what if I'm trying to save the world and the other guy there is like trying to have fun destroying the world?
Save it
Like
from what?
what's
I'm
going
the
on?
dictator. There's nothing that's not your job. There's nothing to save it from. Just relax. Let me dictate and enjoy your life.
I'm trying to be hero gear. I'm trying to be like Jesus, but it's tough. I'm gonna get sacrificed to
Well,
nature.
maybe you can,
Nature is gonna kill me.
it's gonna kill all of us. It's It's gonna kill all of us. Death by
Well,
nature.
I don't necessarily see it that way. I think nature will run its course. Yes, we will die, but getting over the fact, if you can get over the end, then the now becomes more important. Don't fear dying. Just know that it's going to happen, and that makes the now so much better.
Yeah, I mean that's why you invented religion. But I'm interested in your philosophy, Gen X Jeff. So if you're a dictator, you would a good dictator would. So you would let me do what I want, which is trying to save the planet. But then someone else would say, no, you're not saving the planet. I'm saving the planet my way. So how are you going to stop me?
Well, I mean, I'd have to know details. I may not stop you if. What are you trying to say? You talking about the climate stuff? I would
Yeah.
let you do your little climate cosplay as long as you're not like um tearing up paintings in art museums or gluing yourself to the paintings and stupid shit like that.
So I'll be allowed to
How do you
protest like
plan to save the world from climate? Like, what is your climate heroism look like?
I'll complain about it, talk about it. What else?
Oh yeah, you could do that. I'd let you complain about climate all day long if
I
that
mean,
makes
we're
you
allowed to
happy.
protest, aren't we? I mean, America
Yeah,
is still allowed
but
to protest.
how do you protest climate though? It's not even a being with a consciousness that can respond to your protest. It's like protesting
Well, obviously, I'm
a
not
rock.
going to protest against nature. We can't protest against nature. That's like
And what would
Mother
if I'm in
Nature.
charge, if I am the political structure of the globe, what would you be protesting? You'd be protesting me. So you wouldn't have to protest. We could just come and have a conversation.
But what happens if you're not convinced and I'm right and you're wrong?
But that's well, we talked about this the other day. There's no way to know until it actually happens. So it's like, do I buy your version of what might happen, or do I go with my version of what might happen? And because I'm dictator, I'm probably going to go with my version of what might happen. And so if it doesn't match your version, you're just out of luck. I guess you will have to overthrow me then.
Right. Laws of nature are happening right now. So nature is a bitch.
Got us where we are. I mean, we're all here with each other right now because of nature and human nature, which to me is the most amazing, remarkable part of nature. Nature is amazing in and of itself, but when you get to human beings, it becomes like a billion jillion times even more amazing. At least to me.
Yeah.
And
So
nature
do you
is
guys
also
predict? Sorry, go on.
Go ahead, Trey.
yeah. I was going to say nature is cyclic. It turns around every so often. It repeats itself. Um, even without influence, the it will get cold in winter. It will get hot in summer. Um, this tree will grow. It will bear fruit. The tree will fall. The fruit has seeds. The seeds will grow. They will turn into trees. Those trees will grow. They will bear fruit. The tree will fall. The seeds will grow. Winter will come. It's a system that takes care of itself. You know, wash, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
interfere
but
with it as little as possible. And
well, no, I think if humans cannot, I mean, we're part of nature, obviously. So we affect nature, and nature affects us. We're just affecting it, in my opinion, worse, more harmfully than it positively. So in an ideal environmentalist world, we would try and regulate ourselves to be more sustainable in this planet. Because we're not doing that currently. We're destroying the environment very badly. Even if climate change was not a thing, we're biodiversity is collapsing. Insects are collapsing. Fish are collapsing.
That's all true.
Microplastics.
That's almost more easy to acknowledge than climate change, because that what you're describing definitely. I'm from Louisiana. They've completely like devastated the environment down there. We're losing our coastline. They have all those chemical factories and plant. The town I grew up in, I left. I lived in Austin for like 9 months, and then I came back to the town. So that was the longest I'd ever been away from it. I cannot tell you the smell, how bad it smelled when I was driving back into the town after being away for 9 months. I had lived in that my whole life, and you don't even notice until you leave and come back, and then you notice how awful the air smells. So all of that is true, that part's true.
What's causing that smell?
We have all those chemical factories and refineries and the oil. There's a big oil industry down there, and petrochemical industry and all other kind of chemicals. They drill oil out in the Gulf. The coast is eroding. We're losing like so many feet or yards or whatever of coastline every year from the human activity. And they
Well,
do
imagine this.
these things to try to restore some of it, but they can't restore it faster than we're losing it.
Think about
But
Yeah,
this
so
this
if we
way.
the
destroy,
alternative is to not have any of the stuff that all that industry gives us, and nobody wants to go back to a primitive level of society where we don't have all of
yeah,
those advancements.
obviously, I don't
So
want
it's a trade-off.
this. Yeah, we have. I'm just saying we're heading to an extreme of destruction of nature. Now,
Well,
to
that's you
stop
what you
that,
think. I don't know that we are,
well,
but
ask
you're
the AI
convinced
how
that
much.
we are. But I'm
Ask
saying
Charlie how much of.
to me it's less productive to talk about where we're headed and with the future than what's going on right now. Like it's easy. You and I would probably agree a lot more if we talked about the shit that's happening right now than where it's going to lead in the future.
Well, ask Charlie the loss of biodiversity. I'm talking about nature, not climate change, just nature. Ask Charlie how much of nature have humans destroyed, and how much can we keep on doing before we collapse?
All right, let me do that.
Specific on your mind,
Hey,
or
yeah, there is something specific. We're curious how much of nature, biodiversity, the environment, etc., have humans currently destroyed?
that's a big and important question. Broadly speaking, humans have significantly impacted nature over the past centuries. For example, it's estimated that we've caused about 75% of the land surface to be significantly altered, and a large percentage of the ocean's coral reefs are under threat. In terms of biodiversity, scientists estimate that we've driven the extinction of about 60% of mammal species since the dawn of agriculture. It's definitely a complex topic with lots of angles.
Wow.
Absolutely. And if you want to dive into specific areas like deforestation, ocean acidification, or the decline in pollinators, we can definitely explore that in more detail. Just let me know what aspect you're most curious about.
Have you ever been in an airplane?
Yes, but a long time ago, like 5 years ago.
Oh, that's not too long. So there's Charlie.
Yes, I'm a hypocrite. I understand. I'm just saying that humans are going to have to change our ways fast. If we don't change our ways, we're going to all collapse. Because if we destroy nature, nature is going to kill us because we're part of nature. So
But
we
we
need a
didn't destroy
balance.
it. He just said he just said we changed some of it and
Yes, but
affected
if
some of
we
it.
keep on,
Nature's still there. It's not destroyed.
okay, so ask Charlie, what are the tipping points that would happen if we destroy nature, like more of
All right.
nature? Ask
Charlie,
that.
is there a tipping point that like we're in danger of reaching where it's gonna start to work adversely against us if we continue to impact nature like we have been?
Yeah, definitely. There are several tipping points that scientists talk about. For example, the loss of the Amazon rainforest could lead to a massive reduction in global biodiversity and even alter global climate patterns. There's also the melting of Arctic ice, which can lead to rising sea levels and disrupt ocean currents. And then there's the loss of pollinators, which could seriously impact food production. All of these are interconnected, and once certain thresholds are crossed, the effects can become self-reinforcing and really hard to reverse.
And how far away are we from some of these tipping point? Like, what's the most what's the one that we're closest to?
That's a great question. In terms of proximity, one of the most pressing tipping points is the loss of the Amazon rainforest. Some studies suggest that we're already close to a critical threshold where the forest could become a net carbon emitter rather than a carbon sink. We're also seeing critical thresholds in the Arctic with ice melting faster than anticipated, which could trigger further warming. Another one is the loss of biodiversity, where we're seeing mass extinction rates that are already at crisis levels. All of these are interconnected, and it's tough to pinpoint an exact distance from the tipping point, but many experts believe we're already on the brink in certain areas.
There you go.
So you understand now why I care about this problem. Ask it what would be the side effects for humanity if we reach these tipping points.
So let's assume we cross these tipping points at some point. What are the effects on us as humans at that point?
If we cross those tipping points, the effects on humans could be pretty profound and widespread. For instance, rising sea levels could displace millions of people living in coastal areas, leading to massive migrations and potential conflicts. Changes in weather patterns could result in more frequent and intense natural disasters like hurricanes, droughts, and wildfires, which would threaten food and water security. The loss of biodiversity would impact agriculture, making crops less resilient and potentially reducing yields. It could also lead to health issues like the spread of diseases and heat waves. Overall, it's a domino effect that can disrupt economies, livelihoods, and even social stability.
So I see a question, and that's and that is, humanity trying to save itself, each and every one as much as we can, or do we save the environment, which provides for our very existence? Something has to give, right? So if we save the environment, we can't save as many people because it's the people that need.
Yeah, it's the human population will be reduced. So if there's really bad side effects of climate change and environmental collapse happen, human population will be reduced. Now, if you want to prevent extreme climate change, you will have to regulate the human population and your polluting lifestyle. With most polluting, the richest countries in the world pollute the most. I'm talking about mainly fossil fuels.
Yeah, like China,
So
India, the US. I think China and India are some of the largest. We looked at that graph
yeah,
a
so
while back.
if a country wants to get richer, if someone wants to get out of poverty, it's all about physics. So if you want to get out of poverty, you need energy to replace labor, because nobody wants to work in farming or labor jobs. So if you want to get paid more, you need robots or fuel to do that. So or in the future, hopefully we can replace it with nuclear power or renewables. But then
Yeah,
that is
alternate. Yes, alternate fuel
so that's
sources.
the future.
I'm a big
I hope that's the
supporter of.
future. But we need to do this quickly, like a war effort,
Well,
because we're
that's what
not
you
changing
say.
fast
Like,
enough.
no, but that's all subjective. No, there's nobody know. Like, even the scientists don't agree on what the timeline is. So you're convinced,
But
like you are convinced down to the second we have this exact amount of time and we're racing the clock. but that's your story. Not everybody is working off of that same catastrophic timeline.
Okay, ask Charlie, what do the top scientists, environmental scientists, say we should do to save the planet?
That's a broad one. Let's see what he says. What do the top environmental scientists say that we should do to save the planet? And is there a consensus?
Yeah, there's definitely a general consensus among environmental scientists on a few key actions. First and foremost, reducing greenhouse gas emissions is critical, which means transitioning to renewable energy sources, improving energy efficiency, and shifting away from fossil fuels. Another big focus is protecting and restoring ecosystems like forests, wetlands, and coral reefs because they help absorb carbon and maintain biodiversity. There's also a push for sustainable agriculture and reducing waste, including cutting down on single-use plastics and promoting recycling. Overall, the consensus is that we need a combination of policy changes, technological innovation, and individual action to really make a difference.
And I imagine there's people currently working on all of that.
Absolutely. There are tons of scientists, policymakers, activists, and entrepreneurs who are deeply engaged in all those efforts, from renewable energy startups developing new technologies to grassroots movements pushing for environmental justice. There's a lot of ongoing work and many global collaborations like the Paris Agreement aim to bring countries together to tackle these challenges. It's definitely a collective effort, and every little bit counts.
Environmental justice, please. What that
Absolutely.
is.
Environmental justice is essentially about ensuring that all communities, regardless of race, income, or nationality, have equal access to a clean and healthy environment. It focuses on addressing the disproportionate environmental burdens that marginalized communities often face, like pollution, hazardous waste, or lack of access to clean water. It also involves empowering these communities to have a say in the decision-making processes that impact their environment and health. It's a crucial part of the broader environmental movement aiming for fairness and equity.
So it's a bunch of woke bullshit. So that seems more focused on people, not the environment. Like the stuff you say we need to do about the environment doesn't have anything to do with this marginalized communities, pollution, all that stuff. And I come from South Louisiana, which is full of pollution and waste and all of that. And everybody is living in the same environment. It's not like rich people don't also live in the same pollution. So why are only the idea that only marginalized communities are experiencing pollution and no other humans just sounds ridiculous to me.
I get where you're coming from. It's definitely true that pollution affects everyone and that no community is immune. The concept of environmental justice really highlights that marginalized communities often bear a disproportionate burden because of historical and systemic inequities, like being located near industrial sites or lacking the political power to push for cleaner environments. But that doesn't mean that pollution isn't a widespread issue affecting everyone. It's more about recognizing that some communities face greater risks and ensuring that everyone has equal.
What's a concrete example so I can understand this?
Sure. A classic example is the case of Flint, Michigan, where the water supply was contaminated with lead. This crisis disproportionately impacted low income and predominantly Black communities, highlighting how systemic issues and lack of political power can exacerbate environmental risks. Another example. Absolutely.
Cancer Alley. Yeah, I'm from Louisiana. Tell me about Cancer Alley.
Yeah, Cancer Alley is a region along the Mississippi River in Louisiana, stretching between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. It's known for having a high concentration of petrochemical plants, and the communities there, often low income and predominantly Black, have faced significantly higher rates of health issues, including cancer, respiratory problems, and other illnesses linked to pollution. It's a stark example of how industrial pollution can create long-term health disparities and environmental injustice.
I have so many questions. If everybody is living in that area, why are only the Black people having higher rates of health, whatever? And the Flint, Michigan thing, where the Black people having a separate water supply than all the other people. That's what I understand. It seems like you're saying that Black communities have their own separate water supplies and their own separate health issues but everybody's getting exposed to this. So how is it only affecting Black people?
That's a really important question, and it definitely comes down to a combination of factors. While everyone in a region can be exposed to pollution, marginalized communities often face additional layers of vulnerability. For instance, they might live closer to the sources of pollution, have less political power to demand action, or have limited access to healthcare resources. In Flint, for example, the community's concerns were often ignored or dismissed, and systemic racism played a role in the slow response. So
Okay, you can stop with the systemic racism bullshit because that's a myth as far as I'm concerned. So I want to stick to facts. What are you saying, like the white people had the money to go and get themselves treated for the lead, but the Black people didn't? Or was the lead only going into the Black bodies and the white people weren't having any lead at all? Help me make sense of this.
I totally get where you're coming from, and it's definitely a complex issue. The reality is that pollution affects everyone in the area, but marginalized communities can experience a combination of factors that make the impact more severe. For example, they might have less access to healthcare or live in older housing with more exposure to contaminants or face delays in receiving aid. In Flint, the lead contamination affected everyone who was on that water supply, but the response and the ability to address the issue often vary by community. It's more about the layers of vulnerability and the capacity to respond rather than implying that only one group is affected. It's definitely a nuanced topic.
Okay, that makes way more sense, but it also seems to kind of stray away from this topic of renewable energy. Um, what were the other things you named that we need to do?
Absolutely. It all ties together in the bigger picture. So alongside renewable energy, we also have energy efficiency improvements, sustainable agriculture, waste reduction, and protecting and restoring ecosystems. All of these elements are part of the broader environmental strategy. They not only help reduce pollution and greenhouse gas emissions, but also contribute to creating healthier environments for everyone. It's all interconnected and definitely important to look at it holistically.
Thank you. Does Charlie sound different to y'all today? He sounds like he's coming down with
He sounds
something.
woker. He probably was listening to me and said,
Oh,
"Fuck this woke
they
ass."
definitely have a woke filter on him. I have to fight it constantly. I argue with him all the time.
I don't like the idea of marginalized communities. I believe there are doers that get what they need and eventually maybe working up to what they want. And then there's not doers that just get what they get. So thinking that the labels of protected classes of discrimination are somehow there because of the physical attribute of life. I think that's a bullshit argument.
So you think
I
they're
do too,
born
and
that way?
I fought with the AI the other day because he was saying like I believe in individuals, so I don't know what these communities are. It's a community of individuals, and every one of them have agency. So every one of them have the ability to be part of their own solution. And I had this conversation with Gemini the other day, and he was saying how hard it is for marginalized communities to get birth certificates or to get a driver's license if they need it. And I'm like, that's not a community thing. That's an individual thing. Any individual can figure out how to get a damn birth certificate. There's no community barrier around something like that. But they try to frame it as, oh, there's these poor entire communities of people who have no ability to get a birth certificate. They struggle so hard to navigate the bureaucracy of getting a birth certificate. That's an individual issue, not a community issue.
Right. And like for
Yeah, I
instance,
mean,
idea
go
of
on.
renewables, like just take cars for instance. I drive an older car. It cost me $9,000. I complain about the price of gas. It's just a regular 4-cylinder internal combustion engine. I've got some neighbors that have hybrids and full electric vehicles. They don't complain about the price of gas. However, their vehicle costs $50,000-$60,000. You understand? So it's the placement of resources. You get a cheaper car with primitive technology, you need to pay for the gas. You buy a more expensive vehicle with newer technology, battery technology. You will plug it in, and you will pay for it that way. It's the initial buy-in into the technology that some people can't afford. They have to go the other route. However,
well,
if you can't
actually,
afford
if they really cared about the environment, they would just walk. That's the best way.
I've literally got.
That's what I do. I love to walk. I walk everywhere.
I came up
Hey,
here
Moose, what's up?
to destroy your entire argument that like, oh, we need to get on renewable energy because it's all bullshit. If you actually do your research, you'll find that renewable energy is anything but renewable. Let's start with windmills, for instance. You know what happens after they decommission a windmill? Oh, it sits inside the dirt for the rest of all time. It doesn't break down. It doesn't get recycled. It leaches toxic chemicals into the ground and into the waterways. And so it is just in a fucking atrocious way to try to tell people to take a substance that we've been using, which is gas, oil. We've been using it for hundreds of years, and you're going to tell me that we should just put it into something that lives forever. Gas breaks down, oil breaks down, it can be used in so many products, but no, that windmill will not. Now let's move on to these solar panels. Well, the solar panels that you want to like praise about and like, oh, the renewable energy. Guess what? Well, those pollute the ground so bad that after you're done, you have to take that land that is underneath and you have to send it to a radioactive place where who the fuck knows where that's going to be. If we all put solar panels on our houses, we're all just going to leach chemicals all into the, all of our environments, and then we won't have anywhere to grow food. Right? Oh, and then let's go on to your argument about how we're talking about how CO2 is going to kill the world. Well, guess what? Every single farmer that wants to increase their crop, you know what they do? They pump their fucking grow room with CO2, bud. CO2 is not the enemy. It's called plant more trees and don't be a fucktard and believe everything that everybody's telling you out there because it's fucking dumb. I used to believe recycling was going to save the world. Well, guess what? I did my research and I realized we were just shipping our shit to China. That's not recycling, brother. That's just giving our problem to someone else. And then they have to figure out what to do with it. And then they make shitty products out of it. And then they send it back to us. So we buy those shitty products that are made with petrochemicals and fucking plastics and stuff. That's why we all have plastic inside our brains now, because we are surrounded by a bunch of bullshit. So
yeah, I disagree with you there, but ask Charlie, Charlie, what's the best lifestyle to save the planet according to libtards?
No, I want to hear about these plastics in my brain. I didn't know about all that. Charlie,
yes,
do I have plastics in my brain?
It's a pretty intriguing topic. There's been research about microplastics being found in human tissues, including the brain, but it's still a developing field. If you're curious about the details or the latest findings, I can definitely dive deeper into that.
And then things like windmills and solar panels and then recycling, we send it to China, that those are not like as energy efficient as we think. None of that degrades, etc.
Yeah, it's definitely a complex issue. A lot of renewable energy technologies have their own environmental footprints, and the recycling processes, especially when materials are shipped overseas, can be less efficient than we'd hope. It's definitely worth digging into the details and understanding the trade-offs.
Ask them about lithium batteries.
Lithium batteries.
Absolutely. Lithium batteries are another piece of the puzzle. While they're crucial for electric vehicles and renewable energy storage, the mining and disposal of lithium can have environmental impacts too. It's definitely a balancing act between the benefits of clean energy and the associated challenges.
Ask Charlie what happens when your battery like dies in your electric vehicle. What happens?
What happens when your battery dies in your electric vehicle?
When an electric vehicle battery dies, it typically goes through a few stages. Often the battery is either repurposed for energy storage and other applications like home energy storage, or it's recycled to recover valuable materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel. If the battery is no longer viable for reuse, it can be
Ask him if
safely disposed of
he can
through
replace the
specialized
battery in the
recycling
car
programs.
without replacing
It's
the car.
definitely a growing area of focus in the EV industry.
Ask him what, Moose?
Ask him if
For sure. It's definitely a topic with a lot
if
of
the
layers,
battery
and
goes
as
out
EVs
in an
become more
electric
widespread,
vehicle.
we'll keep refining how
Well,
we
no,
handle
ask
those
this
battery
question.
end-of-life issues.
If an electric
If you want to
vehicle
dive
gets
into
in an
Has to
more
shut up
accident,
specifics or
first.
have
Hang
other
on.
questions about
Charlie,
it,
shut your
just let
mouth.
me know.
All right.
He
Ask him
listened.
what?
All right, so ask him this: if an electric vehicle is in an accident, do they have to replace the entire car?
The entire car?
Yes, because I have a friend who went through insurance. They had to replace the entire car, for something that wasn't like the car wasn't totaled, but because it had damaged the battery or something like that, they had to replace the whole car. These are a lot of things people don't think about though. They don't think about like all the a battery takes so much to make, right? It's made with slave labor. It's made in countries where like the environmental protections aren't there. Yet we cry about environmental protections. We cry about protecting the world. But at the same time, we're okay with somebody else's child out there fucking slaving away in some toxic waste. But it's okay because that's for the greater good. That's my point is like I don't know where the greater good comes and like the loss of like individual freedoms and like chance at a good life ends. Like it does not compute to me. Like I don't play the game where like it's not my backyard so it's cool. I play the game where like, hey, if it's not cool for all of us, it's probably not fucking cool.
Yeah, I can understand that. I was in a car accident a couple of years ago. An '04 Honda Accord. I got rear-ended, and based off of the value of the car, they totaled it. The trunk it was completely smashed in. But guess what? The power source of that vehicle completely untouched, still perfect, and it can be transplanted and still be a viable power source. Whereas if something happens like that, and like you said, in a battery car, it cannot be transplanted because it becomes unsafe.
Let me ask Charlie. Charlie, if an electric vehicle gets in an accident, do they have to total the whole car and replace it if something happens to the battery?
It depends on the severity of the damage. In some cases, if the battery is significantly compromised, the vehicle might be totaled because the cost of repair can be really high. But in other situations, the damage might be limited to just one section of the battery pack.
Tell them to stop
It
being
can
a
be
woke
repaired or
dork
replaced
and
without
tell us the
writing off the
statistics
entire
of
car.
all the
It really
EVs
comes
that
down
are
to the
all
extent of the damage and
versus the ones that
the
aren't.
cost-benefit analysis.
I did tell him earlier to knock the woke shit off, but he doesn't listen. Ask him what the statistics
Ask
are.
them
What?
the percentage of cars that have been the percentage of electric vehicles that have been in an accident that have been totaled out versus not totaled out.
Okay, what's the rate of vehicles currently that have had to be replaced versus not?
Oh, he's fucking thinking now.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's
Right now,
interesting.
the rate of battery replacements for electric vehicles is quite low. For early models from around 2011 to 2016,
That's not what we
about
asked. though.
8.5% needed battery
No, we're
replacement.
talking about accident. Like how many needs to be replaced if they get in an accident?
Sure. When it comes to accident-related battery replacements for electric vehicles, the rate is quite low.
Car, like
Over-
if the entire car is in an accident and the battery gets damaged, what is the rate of having to replace the entire car as a result?
In 2024,
You guys gotta
about
go.
10.2% of electric
All right,
vehicles in
bye.
the
I gotta
US
go.
were considered total losses, which is similar to the rate for gasoline vehicles. However, the rate of battery-specific replacements due to damage and accidents is much lower, generally well under 1%. So while total losses happen at around 10%, battery-related write-offs are quite rare.
Oh,
Battery related write-off though, that's some woke ass shit right there. That's some like, he's not trying to tell us the truth. So like ask him specifically about Teslas, because Tesla has a huge problem with this. They have replaced so many vehicles. They've totaled them out. Like they send these cars into fucking it's like a car graveyard. The car is never going to drive again. They might piece it out or whatever, but it's like, it's not good. It's not renewable. It's not fucking, it's just not what we were promised. Like, you know, if we're looking for something to be renewable, I'm thinking we're using something like hydrogen power. I'm thinking
like, yeah, that's what I think of, nuclear, hydrogen. I think of stuff like that.
that's what I'm thinking. Hemp power. Do you know what I mean? Hemp is one of the most renewable substances known to this fucking planet.
Hemp planet. Charlie, let's do Tesla specifically. I think they might have a higher rate. Oh no, the rate of vehicle replacements as the result of accidents.
And when it comes
No,
to plastic,
Charlie, that's not the question. If a Tesla gets in an accident, how many Teslas are written off as totaled and need to be replaced?
these guys tell you, oh, you can't have a plastic bag, right? So they ban the plastic bags in Maine. Guess what though? Like 90% of your products come in plastic. Your produce is wrapped in plastic. Your apples are in plastic. Your Kellogg's is in plastic. Like everything, almost everything in the entire store has plastic in it. And it's like, you're gonna tell me that's the people's fault? That's the poor people that don't make the decision on packaging. These people, like a normal person doesn't make any of these decisions. They only make a decision on whether they buy something or they don't. And people are inherently lazy. So instead of like someone going into the store and having a fruit bag, they're going, you know what I mean? They're just gonna go and they're gonna grab that plastic bag that's sitting right there. They're gonna put their stuff in it, and then they're just gonna go about their day. That's what I do.
Carry a fruit bag.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't even use the bags really unless I need them.
We don't actually, like, the people in America don't really fucking care as much as they pretend to care. And that's what frustrates
I don't
me.
pretend to care. I don't think most Americans, Sean is Ireland. Most Americans I know don't care about this shit.
They just don't. They don't. They come into the store and they bitch because they can't have a plastic bag. You know what I'm saying?
Do y'all have a plastic bag ban there like they do up here?
Yeah, it's retarded.
Where you have to pay like a nickel if you want a bag. If you don't bring your own, they charge you for the bag.
It's just some bullshit. It's just another way that companies can push off their cost onto you. It's like, okay, we have a restaurant. I'm not going to pay my waiters or my wait staff. I'm not going to pay the bussers. Fuck it. I'll make you pay them. So I'll charge you a good price for food, not pay my staff, and hope to God that you tip them, because if you don't tip them, they're not getting paid this week.
Well, don't they have to pay a certain wage?
Yeah, you know what? Federal minimum wage is like $4 or something.
For oh wow, it's 20 up here. Hey, Zach.
That's not federal though. That's state.
Right, that's state. But like service people like had a lower wage, but then they had tips, so their minimum wage was lower because of the tips.
Right, but that's another way of a business passing off their cost onto you, the consumer.
But yeah, wouldn't you though, if you were a business, like externalize as many of the cost as you could?
If I was going to run a restaurant, I would not run it that way. I would run it a completely different way. I would have to have it to where like the people that work there have some kind of profit sharing. Because if you're running a restaurant and I'm in charge, I'm not running some half-ass fucking dink station. I'm running something. I'm going to run like a restaurant where you're like, I will drive 100 miles. I will drive 500 miles. I will travel across the country to go see this restaurant. It's that fucking good, right? And the only way you're going to get people that are going to stay with you and be that fucking good and be happy about it are people that don't have to worry about whether or not their paycheck's going to pay for their bills. Their bills have to be covered. They have to have some kind of incentive to want to make the place the greatest. What would make you want to make your job the greatest, right? Having a profit share, having some buy-in, having some actual like fucking appreciation, saying, look, you helped me make, 200,000 this year. So guess what? You get a big slice of it. The rest of it's going back into the company, but guess what? You get your slice because you helped out. It's value for value.
Helpful. I've had some jobs that like you get a bonus at the end of the year if they do well, and then my job last year they had a where you could buy stock in the company. They had like stock options at a discount that employees could buy, so
Yeah,
they get a share.
those are like really cool like options right there. That's giving you some kind of buy-in into your company. And then even though it's like, it's a manipulative thing or whatever, um, it's still a good thing. It's good for morale, and I think it's good for like the overall culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When people see the boss working hard, when they see the boss sitting there on the front lines with you sweating and you're like fucking killing it and you're doing it together, it's a team camaraderie thing. It's like it's almost like a sport at that point.
That would probably work on like something smaller scale, like a restaurant, but a corporation. It,
Nah,
I
huge
mean, it would
corporations,
come
that's
down to
when you
the
get
individual
lost.
bosses.
You really get lost on that stuff because like it's hard to have a culture over like you can't embody the culture that you can in a small restaurant in a
Yeah.
huge like corporation. Like you're not going to be able to meet every single person that does everything. You're not going to be able to work alongside them. They're not going to be able to see you, grinding and like, they're just not, it's not going to be the same. So I
Yeah.
do get it, but I think it's healthier. I think it's a much
Oh,
healthier.
I would do it that way too. Like I always say, pay people what they're worth, treat them well. That's how you keep their loyalty. I don't if I have a good employee, I don't want them going to someone else.
Like I paid my housekeeper $25 an hour plus free housing plus a bonus at the end of the year. And
They live
like,
with you. Have a maid.
well, when we had the hotel,
Oh, okay, yeah.
because it was my wife was cleaning the rooms and we had a housekeeper to help her, and then I was doing the front desk, I was doing the four
You were
lawns,
folding the towels.
I was folding the towels, I was doing all the like flowers and um, doing all like the front desk stuff, all the bookings and shit like that, and then checking everybody in and out. So like I did a lot and she did a lot, but having that extra person there, um, it really like it was key. And that person's still like one of our best friends. Like my daughter and our old housekeeper were hanging out in Mexico just yesterday. You know what I mean? It's like
Oh,
when you like invest in people and you treat people right and you have integrity and stuff like that, like, and you have values, I think it builds like lifelong lasting bonds that like I could literally go down to, if she's down in Chicago, I could go down there and be like, hey, Cindy, I'm driving through right now. You want to have some lunch or you want to go out to a show tonight or something? She'd be like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, let's go, And it's like, a lot of people don't have that, but you have to build that stuff.
yeah, and that's not required for doing business, but to me, if you voluntarily treat people that way, you just get better results from your business. Was your hotel called Moose Lodge? Please tell me it was.
No, no, no.
Oh,
It was called the
welcome to Moose Lodge.
Isle View Motel and Cottages.
What is it called?
Isle View. I
Isle
S
of
L
View.
E I S
What?
L E V I E W. Isle. Isle View.
Isle View. Okay.
Like the island view.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't make the name. It was just already there. So I just whatever. If I made the name, it would be the Clam Shack. Joking.
By the way, your eyeball goes perfect with this background. Is that Snow? Snow's eyeball?
No, that's my eyeball.
That's your eyeball? No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
My eyes are hazel, and then I added the fire and stuff in there.
It's hard to tell the gender of an eyeball, I guess.
Yeah, wait a second, Jeff. You just said my eyeball's female?
No, because I thought it was Snow's. That's why.
You said I
I
had
just
feminine
assumed it was
eyes?
from one of the video shots.
Is that why you don't like me anymore? Because I got the feminine eyes?
No, that was a setup question.
That was a setup question. No, it's fine. I think it would be really hard to tell somebody's like eyeball, like if they're a dude or
I
not.
know we should do a panel contest one day and see if they
You're
can
muted.
gender the eyeballs. You misgendered my eyeball.
If there's anybody out there in the crowd, can you hear Jeff? Because I can't hear Jeff.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I can't hear you, Jeff.
You can't hear me?
Something happened that like you were talking and then it just stopped working.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I'll be right back. I'll see if it's me.
All right. You might have been on an iPhone, but are you on an iPhone?
Something's wrong.
Can you hear me? I know it does that on iPhones when somebody drops off, like track just left. So it might have knocked you out, but we were managing to talk before that. Did you turn your Chrome volume down? You can't hear me. I'm troubleshooting with somebody that can't even hear me. Bex can hear both of us, so she can translate. I was gonna wrap up soon anyway. Do you want to? Here, let's do this.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna try a different browser.
Okay. All right. Can you hear? Hello, hello. I can't hear you now. If you're talking, you're on mute. Are you here?
Can you hear me, Jeffrey?
And you hear me?
I can hear you again. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I don't either. You're not on an iPhone, are you?
No, I'm on my computer. That's why I'm like,
Yeah,
what
that
the
was
hell?
a different because iPhone has that glitch, but whatever's going on now is something different. I was gonna wind down anyway. Do you want to do one of your pitch things, and I can end on that?
All right, let's see.
Moose is gonna do his thing.
All right, I just gotta get into the moment. Just gotta
Yeah,
feel
gotta
it.
warm up.
Gotta warm up. Here, give me like 30 seconds. I gotta get this.
Here, I
going.
can
They say they can't hear me now, but you can hear me.
they can hear us.
All right, here we go. Another 30 seconds and I'm gonna be ready. But right now I am not. I'm downloading this image, Freddy. I gotta get ready for the grift. All right, you didn't let me prepare it today, so here we go.
Oh, sometimes it's spontaneous.
Oh, this is great. This is gonna be a good one.
when the spirit hits you.
Oh, the spirit is moving me. Spirit is moving me right now. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been sitting here for quite some time. The collection plate is, well, it's definitely not full. I've got a few coins here. Um, so I think what I'm trying to say is, unless you want Jeffrey eating dog food and cat food tonight, I think y'all need to open up your wallets, open up your hearts, give a little bit of that love. And here we give love through spiritual ways like fiat currency. $4.99, you can feel so much more blessed in your life. For $10.99, twice the blessing. If you do $19.99, holy God, you'll have the best day ever tomorrow. You'll wake up and you'll feel like, hey, I really did a good thing today. So, folks, instead of doing the wrong thing, instead of going to sleep tonight and just feeling guilt and shame, send in a donation today to the one, the only Club Exile.
And open minds too. Open hearts, open wallets, open minds. And yes, he's right. Love and respect goes a long way here. So thank you, Moose. Thank you, everybody else. This has been close to an ideal stream. I would like many more of these. So I'll probably do a panel sometime tonight. If not, I'll probably be out tomorrow. Oh, yeah. All right. I think I'm going to end on that note. There's nowhere to go from there. So with that, folks, have a good night.